Hi, I'm Kingston with Like Magic Travel, and I just got back from an amazing 3-day trip to Disneyland to visit the opening of its 70th anniversary celebration. In this video, I'll be sharing highlights from the parks, what we saw, ate, bought, and more. For this trip, we had a party of 9 with 4 children who still needed to head back to the hotel for nap time. Since we stayed at the Disneyland Hotel and had 3-day park hopper tickets, we had the flexibility to pop in and out of the parks as needed. It's hard to believe Disneyland has been around for 70 years. Even harder to believe that there's still 10 rides in operation from opening day in 1955. Main Street Vehicles, King Arthur Carousel, Mad Tea Party, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, Peter Pan's Flight, Snow White's Scary Adventures, Jungle Cruise, Mark Twain Riverboat, Autopia, and the Disneyland Railroad. The first thing we saw was the highly anticipated return of the Paint the Night Parade, which is a nighttime electrical parade filled with your favorite characters. This parade originated in Hong Kong Disneyland and made its way over to Anaheim for its 60th anniversary 10 years ago. It made a brief stint at California Adventure before taking a break, and Disneyland has brought it back for its 70th anniversary celebration. I remember seeing this parade during the 60th anniversary, and it continues to be my favorite Disney park show. The Paint the Night Parade has 2 showings each day, at 8:45 p.m. and 10:45 p.m. For the first showing, the parade starts by Small World and makes its way down Main Street. For the second showing, after the fireworks, it goes back the opposite direction from Main Street back to Small World. There are a few vantage points to consider when catching the Paint the Night Parade. My favorite spot is just right on the curb on Main Street, but that does require camping out about 2 hours before the show starts for the 8:45 showing. Or you can hop the curb immediately after the fireworks for the later showing. I just love how the front row view really brings out the scale of the floats and lights. Check out our vantage point in this video. Another vantage point we experienced was from the platform of the Main Street Railroad Station. We love this view because we were able to stand right above the fence without any obstructions. It was less crowded from this vantage point, but it did require us to walk down to Main Street afterwards to view the fireworks. The last vantage point I'd recommend is from behind the castle at Fantasyland. It's less crowded on this side, and I have heard the floats stop a little longer on this side. If you're catching the 8:45 showing, another perk is that you can quickly view the parade and then head straight for the rides while the majority of crowds are still hanging out on Main Street. On day 2 of our 3-day park hopper, we started our day with early entry at Disneyland. At Disney parks, on-property guests have the exclusive perk of entering a park 30 minutes before opening. You'll need to check the park hours for the early entry schedules to plan your park reservations accordingly. Our first stop was Fantasyland for the kids to ride Dumbo, the Mad Tea Party, and Peter Pan's Flight. Since we were there before the crowds, both Dumbo and the Mad Tea Party were near walk-ons, while Peter Pan was about a 20-minute wait. We made our way to Toontown, and part of our group rode Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and the others went to meet Mickey Mouse. Toontown is great for young children as they have a playground and lots of open space for children to run around safely. It's also a great place for kids to meet their favorite characters, as characters like Donald Duck and Goofy tend to roam around freely for pictures. After a little popcorn snack, we made our way to Galaxy's Edge, the Star Wars themed area, one of my favorite lands of the Disneyland park. It was a pretty short wait for the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run ride, so a bunch of us hopped on while the rest searched for lunch. The food at Docking Bay 7 is one of our favorites in Disneyland, as they typically have Asian-inspired eats, like a fried chicken bao and Szechuan noodles. They also serve one of our favorite cold brews, cold brew coffee topped with sweet cream cheese and chocolate puffs. Next, we headed over to Oga's Cantina for a reservation that we pre-booked 60 days before our trip. Oga's is a cocktail bar that serves alcohol, mocktails, and small bites. It looks like a cantina straight out of Star Wars with a droid DJ that bumps Star Wars themed music. Every half hour or so, the cantina comes alive with typical cantina shenanigans. Seatings are shared and limited to 45 minutes. We recommend visiting Oga's in the afternoon, so you can enjoy a drink and a snack. Since we were in Galaxy's Edge, we took the older kids to the Droid Depot to build their first droids. For $99.99, you can pick your parts, assemble, and activate your droid in an immersive Star Wars experience. You can also upgrade your droid with a personality chip and accessories for an additional charge. Something like this?
Does it come with,
Daddy's filming.
I'm not right now, y'all. You want me to?
There you go.
Yeah.
Here you go, Ren. Can you push this in?
No, I'll take a picture of you. Noah,
This?
Yeah, push it in.
ready?
Yeah.
After nap time, we popped into California Adventure for dinner and World of Color. My wife decided to ask over at Lamplight Lounge at prime dinner time to see how long the wait for a table of 9 would be, and was surprised to learn they had a table ready right away. We were escorted through the restaurant to an obscure door by the kitchen, and were led through a utility room to a secret door with light bulbs and knobs. I couldn't believe it. They were taking us to the secret office room at the Lamplight Lounge.
I'm sitting in the window.
And just keep on spinning till the lights pop up. Keep going, one more.
Keep going, Ren Ren. Yay! Good job! A toilet flushed.
Here we go, everyone.
Secret door.
Thank you.
That's how you survive.
I was wondering if we could go into the secret room.
You guys got it.
Thank you.
So how do you get access to this room? It's just random.
It's just random.
Wow.
So you guys are just the lucky selections for today.
Oh, thank you.
Of course, guys, of course. Let's go.
The office is a private dining space on the water in California Adventure. It has a private deck with amazing views of the Pixar Pal Around Ferris wheel, with the iconic Mickey face and the Incredicoaster. Inside the office, they also have tons of board games you can pull from the wall and play. This higher-end restaurant offered substantial meal options like charbroiled burgers, prawns, al pastor, and chicken saltado. The restaurant also offers a full-service bar and can make anything your heart desires. If you need some guidance, you can order off their menu or Google their secret drink menu for additional options. After dinner at around 9 p.m., the cast members escorted us upstairs to their deck for a private and relaxed viewing of World of Color. Since the vantage point is from Lamplight Lounge, we got a side viewing of the show, which was perfect for our group. On day 3 of our trip, we purchased access to the e-ticket club at the Disneyland Hotel for $540. The price was based on our 2-bedroom suite room type. From 6 a.m. until 6 p.m. the following day, we had access to the club, which offered breakfast, light snacks during the day, hot snacks at dinner, and an evening dessert spread. The food offering isn't a full-service menu, but it was fine for a quick bite and for kids who munch on little bites anyway. We started our day in California Adventure with early entry. We head straight over to Cars Land, which is a favorite for our kids. The detail of this land is incredible. It really does feel like we're in Radiator Springs. We walked right on to Luigi's Rollickin' Roadsters, which is a cute ride with dancing cars. The kids loved it so much, we did it again. Meanwhile, the older kids ran off to Avengers Campus to ride Web Slingers, a Spider-Man adventure ride where you can get to shoot webs from your hands to stop spider bots.
Okay, contacting Spider-Man.
Here? I'm gonna go find Spider-Man for myself because he's around here somewhere. Okay, goodbye.
After taking a picture with Lightning McQueen, we made our way to Pixar Pier. We played some carnival games and hopped on some rides. First, we did the Emotional Whirlwind ride, which is an inside-out themed version of the Dumbo ride. Then, we did Toy Story Mania, which is always a hit with the kids. At 10 a.m., the character experience from Disney Visa opened up, so we made our way to Hollywoodland to check it out. Visa has a special partnership with Disney, and if you have a Disney Visa credit card, you can have access to exclusive experiences and discounts. For example, they have a private character meet and greet opportunity on both the Disneyland and California Adventure sides, where you can meet characters like Darth Vader, Stitch, Spider-Man, and more. Other benefits include 10% off at select shops and restaurants. We were able to meet Stitch, Minnie, and Pluto without any wait. It really felt special. Then we headed into Disneyland for the nighttime entertainment. We squeezed in one short train ride from Tomorrowland to Main Street to see the dinosaurs, and then parked ourselves on the platform of the Main Street train station to watch Paint the Night for the second time of the trip. This is a great angle for a tops-down view of the parade with fewer crowds, but I do prefer a front row seat on Main Street. Right after the parade, we walked down the stairs to grab a spot on Main Street to view the new fireworks show for the 70th anniversary called Wondrous Journeys, and it was beautiful. The song selection and mixes were perfect, and the best surprise was a flying Baymax over the castle. And that was our 3 days at the Disneyland Resort during the 70th anniversary with young children. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you're interested in booking a vacation with us at Like Magic Travel, visit us at likemagictravel.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you real soon.